Hi, I'm Richard Burns, and thanks for coming to In the Flow, the channel for spiritual beings about spiritual beings. All of our episodes are embedded with transformational energy. Thus, as you watch, you can receive healing energy.
Happy Herschel. No, look, I'm official. Happy Herschel. It's my, what should I say? My brand. I'm the only happy Herschel. It's story to it is even better. I'm ready to heal and be better. I want to heal and be better. I know it's possible to heal and better, to heal and be better. I know all healing comes from God. I know there is a reality that exists outside of my current perceptions. I take full responsibility and full accountability for all of my actions. I am thankful for my current challenges, being an impetus for change, and I am prepared to learn the lessons they have come to teach me. And then everyone goes like this, feel gold, and repeats, I'm moving on. And we move on. That sets us up for success. My modality is therapeutic thought, which means when you direct a thought, you're there. Thought is the most super luminous entity in creation. So there's a saying about God. God says, my thoughts aren't your thoughts, so my thoughts aren't your thoughts either. We all have different types of thoughts. Look at thought as another Bluetooth device. And when you think of someone, you're with them and you can open up channels. Once you know how to open up a channel and press certain buttons, you can activate inner systems. And the one used most is what many people call spiritual DNA. When you go into the DNA, some people call it chakras. And the spiritual DNA is more accurate, in my opinion, because when you take our 7 components of spiritual DNA, integrate them 2 at a time, you get 49 facets. That is our interwoven spiritual genetic code. When that's manipulated, people heal faster, become more coherent, more integrated, sensitive, happy people, and thereby you can find your beloved or unbeloved, depends how you know how to relate to people, and become more focused and functional in your daily pursuits and also more creative. Well, we went from the Dark Ages to the scientific revolution to the Age of Enlightenment, and the fact that we know more doesn't mean that we act more humanely. Are we acting more godlike? Are we acting more beneficent? So there's a lot of chaos in the world amidst people doing good things. We're at a turning point in the creative process and creation right now, it seems to me, whereby forces that want to deny God exists, vying for hegemony, seems to me, taking over the world somehow. And there are other forces of those who believe there's a God. It's on in our Constitution, it's on our currency, the dollar bill, and God we trust. And so from that perspective, let's say it's a toss-up. There are different forces out there. Some are dark forces, some are light forces. And at the end, light always wins. I was born a healer. I came out of the womb. I said to the doctor, you need help. I can help you. That's my first story. In reality, I found out when I went to college in Ann Arbor at the University of Michigan, there's more to life than just academics. I started working on myself. And that took me to a lot of different places in my life. One stop was having a restaurant. Another stop was having the first organic whole chocolate company in New York City. Another was Executive, healing with food for companies. And to many other different journeys, until my wife, who's a physical therapist, became involved in energy healing herself, integrated that into her practice. And she took me from one seminar to another. One day in Vermont at a seminar in Dowsing, the second year there was a pre-seminar on healing with thought, which I took. At the end of the seminar, we went away for the weekend to Montreal, and a woman in the gallery there, taking pictures of people's auras, looked enticing, so I had my picture taken. And the woman said to me, "Your entire being is healing energy, you have good thoughts, and you are a good teacher." I said, "Great, here's your $20, have a nice day." And then on Sunday, my wife was in a little town outside of Montreal. She was so overbooked, I started helping her. Within 2 years, a career is born, which I've been doing now for 28 years. There are different forms, in my opinion, of a spiritual awakening. By the way, we're all spiritual beings. You know, even though we think of our reality is based upon the physical is actually spiritual. With our physical eyes, we only see the physical. In reality, everything is actually spiritual, and at some point in creation, we'll see the spiritual existing. Imagine a person looking at any object and seeing the subatomic structure, and then going beyond that into subatomic particles, which are not really particles, they're just the potential at some point in time of an entity to be observed and come into the creative purview of those watching it, observing it. So let's call one definition of spiritual awakening as an understanding there's more to life than meets the eye, and we're going to call it godly induced. And once we bring God to the picture, the next question is, I'm being awakened, I'm being summoned to realign myself, just as in the famous meme during the beginning of the COVID instance, you know, where we were sequestered away from people for a few months or so. And my favorite one was, "Now that I've cleared your schedule, I'd like to speak with you, signed God." That's my favorite, you know? So understanding that we're here for more than just our pleasure, we're here for a purpose. And it seems to me one of the greatest spiritual awakenings is to realize everything we see, you know, people are good observers, but not necessarily good interpreters. And to realize that we're here with our own mission, and that God wanted to have creation. And the purpose of creation is to fulfill his instructions to us. Some call them commandments. In Hebrew, the word commandment is mitzvah. It really means a connective mechanism, to connect to God. So a spiritual awakening with the aforementioned means understanding there's a purpose for our existence, and God would like us to be aware of it and turn our actions towards heaven. People come to all kinds of reasons. At the end of the day, the one theme that I see runs consistently through almost everyone is coming and getting a new life. When you talk about doctors and nurses in the medical community, it depends which community. The fact that someone is a doctor may or may not lend itself to integrating spiritual work into their practice. So my understanding is that there are 4 types of learning styles. You have auditory, visual, kinesthetic, and tactile. There are also 4 types of souls. I use a parallel. I call these are my terms, but not my idea. My terms are I call the allopathic or conventional soul. You have the the green soul, the whole soul, the natural soul, the integrative soul, and the spiritual soul. One who may, for instance, if you're primarily an auditory learner, doesn't mean you're not using visual, tactile, and your kinesthetic tools. They're integrated. However, primarily one may be auditory. So someone who is a conventional, has a conventional soul or an allopathic soul, they'll say typically, give me a drug or cut it out. You have the green soul. They'll say, give me miso soup, give me Ayurvedic medicine, give me homeopathy, give me acupuncture, right? Give me wheatgrass juice. The integrative soul will say, give me miso soup and chemotherapy, right? And the spiritual soul will say, give me, at one point, someone would go to the prophet, and the prophet would tell the person what they were doing spiritually that was impinging on their well-being, and then they would offer a korban and do what's called teshuvah. They would ask for forgiveness, right, and repent, and they would get better. Wow. Then there was a book of refuahs, of remedies from King Solomon. And then we have amulets, right? People would write an amulet, and whatever the words on it would be, for whatever reason, the person came to this individual, and that would seem to work. And then we have, spiritual modalities, and ERT, energy resonant transference, is one of them. So when it works, I'm from Missouri, show me. When you do something repeatedly and get a positive result, somehow there's a valid operating mechanism and modality that seems to be effective in accelerating the healing process. So doctors, nurses, other practitioners will say, based upon what we've seen, we may not understand it. Whatever you do, and it's effective. That's the bottom line. My life's mission as a man amongst men is to help every human being actualize their divine potential by revealing their godly sparks.